I'm here from Cloud Technology Solutions. We're a Tier 1 Premier Partner of Google's. We work specifically in the Google Cloud, what is now called G Suite. Forgive the logo at the bottom right, still saying Google for Work. We didn't have time to change it after a very, very quick announcement from Google that they were changing the name. I'm not going to read through all these kind of accreditations and partnerships that we have here, but it's kind of an indication of where we sit within the whole Google and cloud ecosystem of Google Sphere, as some people are now calling it. I think the key one there is the Google Tier 1 Premier Partner, the Sunday Times Top 100 Fastest Growing Tech Companies, we're the only partner in Scotland as well. The reason we've been afforded such a glamorous title from Google is two pieces of our own software. One being the Cloud Migrator, one being Cloud Pages. Cloud Pages being a user lifecycle management tool, great for your HR teams, making life easy for your IT admins, but predominantly the Cloud Migrator. We're very fortunate that we actually own and control the world's leading data migration service. So once I show you the wonderful world of Google for Work in a moment, you'll understand that we can also get you there with our migration service. Vanity statistics, 2.6 petabytes of data. I didn't even know what a petabyte was until about 3 weeks ago when I looked these up to build this slide deck. Coming up towards 5.5 million users, and across all that data and all those users is a 99.8% success rate. So if you want to move your business into the cloud, we can bring all your data with you. As an organisation, the services we can offer, from the design and integration of your cloud service all the way through to migration, as we mentioned, training for the new tools and the new way of thinking, and also an ongoing technical support, everyone based here in the UK. I call this a Lewis Hamilton slide because it's like the F1 pit crew with all the badges. Give you an indication of some of the organisations who have gone Google. I can see Yahoo there, but that's another story. Other organisations in this area, such as Brewers, Painters and Decorators down in Brighton. We also are very prominent in the public sector. We work with central government agencies such as the Cabinet Office, HMRC, as well as local borough councils. Whole county councils such as Warwickshire, Ada and Worthing being, again, another little local piece. Citizens Advice Bureau, and we've also managed to really revolutionise the way Ofsted are now going to go around inspecting our schools. Rather than taking a clipboard round, filling out their inspection, then going back to the office late at night in a bad mood, changing how they felt about what they've seen in the day. Everything will be done in real time on a tablet using forms built within Google. Statistics, everyone loves statistics, and this is from a Forrester report a couple of years ago, that work doesn't happen in our office anymore. We are no longer chained to our desk. No one wants to be chained to the desk anymore. My desk is horrible. It's dirty, it's cluttered up, there's coffee stains everywhere. I don't want to be anywhere near it. I'd rather be at home. So we see here now, nearly 40% working from home. 23% work from a public site. I looked into public site. That's mainly the people sat in Starbucks and Wetherspoons using the free Wi-Fi. We've all done it. 27% work while travelling. We're based in Manchester. I spend what feels like half my life on that Pendolino between Piccadilly and Euston. If anyone's ever experienced the Virgin Trains Wi-Fi, no bueno. So we need to have this agility in the way we work. Work the way we live, Google's ethos. When we first started in business, we used to have machines far more powerful at work than we had at home. The devices we had on our desk and in the office blew past what we had at home. But now, I've got more powerful devices in my pocket than most of us actually have on our desk. I see an iPad Pro in the back row. That's going to be more powerful than the vast majority of our desktops that we're using. So why do we have to settle for lesser technology at work than what we can use ourselves? So we decided with this cloud delivery model, let's take the device out of it. It doesn't matter what device you're on. It doesn't matter where you are geographically. If you've got some form of connectivity, you can start being productive. I thought, we're not that far from the sea. I'm from a seaside town up north. We call it, my gran said, if you've got to tell someone you're from Merseyside, tell them you're from the northern beaches. So we look here. On the left-hand side, we've got quite an old-fashioned sailboat. So we'd have one person controlling the rudder, the others just sit there as ballast. On the right, we've got a new, I think it's the BMW Oracle from the America's Cup. It's a new hydrofoil, so everyone's working together as a team. Everyone on that boat has a role, something to do, something to contribute to the race. This might look familiar, how we used to, well, to certain members of the audience, myself included, that before we had a lot of computers, we'd manually write out a document or some content. If we were lucky, we had a typing pool. They'd type it up, we'd bang it in a yellow envelope, we'd put copies on our colleagues' desks, they'd write their notes on the outside of the envelope, we'd go back, we'd write out a new version, we'd give it back to the typing pool, and lo and behold, we've got a final revision. The tools have changed, but let's be fair, the cycle hasn't. We create a document, we attach it to an email. So I've got a document I created, I want to share it with 5 of my colleagues. Is anyone good at maths? Can anyone count? Higher than 12, I can. Right, so we take that one document, we email it to our 5 colleagues. So automatically we've got 6 versions of that same document. Those guys save them in their local machines, make their changes to that same document, email it back to me. So number 5, so we're on 12 versions of the same document before we've got the first revision and set of comments that have come back to me. That sounds like a lot of versions just for one final result. Martha in marketing, she's put the document on a USB stick. She went out Friday night, had a handbag nicked. We've now got our corporate documents on a USB stick in a thieves' front room somewhere. Freddie in finance, he wanted to do it at home, so he emailed the document to his personal email address so he could make his changes over the weekend. Again, our data, our corporate information has now left our corporate environment. We looked at this and went, okay, we're not going to change word processing, we're not going to change spreadsheets, we're not going to change the way we build presentations. We can change the way we work together. So Google came out with these, what we call collaborative tools. Collaboration seems to be a buzzword of 2016. Everyone's collaborating with somebody on something or another. With Google, you create a document, you share the same documents with your colleagues, internally or externally from your organization, and you work on that same document together. So you have one version of the truth. You know that that document you're looking at is the one final version. It's not the final.v.1.x.vinyl.2. But then Martha in marketing, she was actually away on Monday and she's emailed it back to me on Tuesday, and hers is final.final.v.3. I'm lost now. I don't know which is the most up-to-date version of the document. So why not work on one together? We can see here in this kind of cool infographic that no matter what device you're on, no matter where you are, you can work on this document together. And likewise in the spreadsheets, we can see here as collaborators start putting their own separate forecasts in real time, the charts that we built from this are being activated. We see people using this for KPI dashboards within their organization. Incredible power. So, Google for Work, or G Suite as it's now called. That's a terrible name, isn't it? Someone got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to call it G Suite. My life. Anyway, what does this include? Okay, email. Are we all familiar with Gmail? Hands up who's got a Gmail account. Yeah, it's you and a billion other people globally. So within that, does anyone use Google Drive for sharing the holiday photographs? Yes? So what's included in this package? It's not just Gmail, the Google Drive, Hangouts, which is, I hate to draw comparisons, but it's kind of a Skype type thing. So your video conferencing, your instant messaging. Now all of this is searchable within Gmail using the power of Google Search. I think we've all used Google Search and we know how strong that is. So be able to search across all your corporate data within your files, your mail, your chat conversations, your calendar, using that power is incredible. We also have Google Plus for building your communities. We have Google Vaults as an e-discovery, archive and retention tool. I'll give you an example of Google. People go, what the hell's an e-discovery and archiving tool? Who remembers the news international phone hacking? So no one claimed that they'd been told that they had to, that they'd been told to hack these telephones. Everyone deleted their emails. They cleared out the trash folder. They thought everything was gone forever. Alas, no. Google Vault had all these conversations stored in the background, and as we all know, they were put to task in courts and everything stood up. Quite right too. On the right hand side, we'd see kind of what's below the surface? This is fantastic. Gmail, I know, Steve, Google Drive, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we've seen this. How can we save money? Okay, so everything on the right-hand side is traditionally something that would be an additional cost to your current IT system. So mobile device management. All your Android devices, tablets, mobile phones, anything that's accessing your information, your business's data, you can now control at no extra cost. Two-factor authentication, extra levels of granular security to make sure your data is in the safest place it can possibly be. Antivirus, who pays for antivirus on top of their corporate IT costs? Yep. Anti-spam, we've got those on there as well. These are all built in. If anyone ever compared their gmail.com address to their old hotmail.com inbox, my Hotmail's got 1,000 unread spam messages, my Gmail's got 4. It's all built in. Information rights management. Microsoft owns SharePoint. It costs about £6,000 a month to all those articles. You can control exactly who has access to your corporate data, how long they have access for, what level of access they have, whether they can collaborate with you, or just leave comments on the work that's together. Internal, external sharing. This isn't relying on everyone being multiple. You don't need me as a Google partner being able to share information with you, and we may exclusively use Microsoft. We can still work together and collaborate. We're not required to all be singing from the same hymn sheet. It's allowing businesses to be more agile with the way they work internally and externally. Cost. Let's talk cost. So, everything you see on the left, including completely unlimited storage, is £79 a year per user. 100-seat organisation, less than £8,000 a year IT costs for everything. It's quite a considerable change. One thing we look at is cost saving. One thing we now look at is time saving within the collaboration. So when we saw Warwickshire County Council, they're one of the earliest adopters of Google within the public sector that we saw in the UK. About 3 years in, they were able to quantify cost savings immediately. That's easily done on a P&L sheet. They've now managed to quantify time saving. The way people can collaborate together rather than then having to wait for people to get revisions back to them, not traveling to meetings as much, using Hangouts as a video conferencing solution. They're working out that they were saving 3 hours a week. Okay, 3 hours a week, that's not a huge number. Times that by it's public sector, so Simon, you guys work 55 weeks a year, about that. So that's 170 hours you guys get back. That's a lot of time when you actually think about it. The cost savings that can be brought by saving time are immeasurable. It's an old saying, time is money. I think in this situation it's very true. It's been a great experience being here today. I'm right at the back. I've got some Chrome devices, so when we saw that piece of people working together, collaborating on that same document, I showed this to a local council. It will remain nameless. We had a double-decker bus going around and showed councils as collaboration piece. Walked off the bus and said, Stephen, that's like witchcraft. You might as well just show those guys fire for the first time. So I'd really like to show you some really live, interactive, immersive demos at the back. Can you give me a shout? Any questions you might have there, I'll be more than happy to answer. My details, there bottom right. Might be anyone who's interested, scribble them down because I forgot my business cards. So any questions, please come and find me at the back. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Take care.